Sam Raimi's Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, that is a dream come true.
Cut that bitch off! Next caller.
We have been hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, run amok, and flat out deceived. It's bullshit, it's bullshit. Listen to my words, it's bullshit. This is all I got. Don't take my baby, okay? I'm not doing anything illegal. I'm not doing anything illegal, but I don't want nobody. Oh my God, am I doing something illegal? What more do you want from me?
Yo, what's
all right, y'all. Okay, you're doing the intro.
God, why?
I literally said that I'll fucking do it.
You did not say that.
You gotta be stupid.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Wait. Okay, just count it down. Sorry.
4, 3,
Shut up.
All right, y'all. We're back with SoldTheBag, and today we're going to be doing our review of the Doctor Strange Madness of the Multiverse. This will be a spoiler-filled review, so if you haven't seen the movie, go watch it first and then come back here. I'm joined by Ace Ninja 15, Dion, Terrence, and Humanoid, and I'm Chance. And we're gonna start off with our first impressions of the movie.
So my first thoughts here, starting out, I think that, it was a pretty good movie. I definitely had some issues with it, but I would say that it was a decent movie. Not my favorite Marvel movie, but it was good. Few issues.
I rather enjoyed the movie because of what it was, like, and where it went. And where can I find it? I don't know. I just enjoyed it because we have a different direction of Doctor Strange going, and WandaVision's character just went a whole 180. That's all I have to say about that.
We're gonna have a discussion about alphabetical order after this, but I was going back and forth for a while. I thought it was okay, but the more I think about it, the more and more I kind of just dislike the movie. I'll talk more about that later, but as far, I guess it was okay for me.
For me, I actually really enjoyed this movie. I thought it was better than a lot of these Marvel movies that's been coming out. I don't know. I think Sam Raimi actually took that risk and made the movie how it's supposed to be. But I enjoyed it all the way through.
This movie is it's cool. I'd say it's cool. It was a nice experience watching it. I definitely had some issues with it, visually, but visually and some of the it was good.
Yeah, so I think overall, our take generally is that it was okay.
You stink! Let me just get that out the way! You stink!
We're going to be talking about a little bit of what our least favorite part is. This is definitely going to be where we've taken some issues, I think. For me, I had kind of 3 major issues with this movie. So the first, to me, and the biggest was I felt that they treated the multiverse very differently in this particular movie than they did in even, the most recent Spider-Man movie as well as Loki. So I just thought that it was very strange how across the multiverse, all the different variants of Doctor Strange that we had had a very similar life story. There wasn't too much different. For example, Christina was always the love interest. So to me, that was kind of you'd think in some versions she wouldn't be, or maybe in some versions she actually worked out. And they never did. So I thought that the multiverse was treated very differently, which I didn't like. And then, secondly, I think that the Illuminati was a total joke, the way that they portrayed it.
I'm the smartest man alive, Reed Richards of the Fantastic Four.
I don't know how I feel. I really don't.
Black Bolt could destroy you with one whisper from his mouth.
wrote this shit?
The smartest man alive.
I'm kind of retarded.
Stupid, I'm not gonna let you get the chance.
I have children of my own. I understand your pain.
Is their mother still alive?
Yes.
Good. There will be someone left to raise them.
Who wrote this shit?
I could do this all day.
Man, shut your bitch ass up. Nigga, nobody asked you that a bitch ass thing. You better shut the fuck up before I knock your fucking head off your shoulder, little little ass bitch.
Previously on X-Men.
Police! Police! Help! Police! Help! Police!
Look at this dude. Wait till you see the. no.
Boy, ain't no fucking way, boy.
Out of pocket for that shit. Way out of pocket. What do you gain from that?
Come on, man.
Yeah, I understand.
I like that part though. Like, oh yeah.
I mean, I like the Illuminati. I like the introduction of it. I just thought that they treated it like they were all idiots. Like they were basically worthless.
Oh yeah, I agree
understand that. I definitely agree, but to a certain extent, I understand what they were trying to do. Like these are not like the main Illuminati. Like these are like a different version of them.
Man,
like the way how they killed them off, I like the risk that they took, that they killed them off. And but yeah, it's gonna be a lot to dive in.
Yeah.
My least favorite part is definitely the Illuminati, because like I get what you're saying that they're different versions of the character, but they still are the characters, and like still they're supposed to hold traits of the characters that we've seen. And my problem is that they did not introduce them into the movie to be characters. They were literally just put in the movie to be fodder for Wanda. And like that's fine and all, but like Mr. Fantastic and Professor X are leaders of two of the most iconic teams in the superhero community. So like just putting them in there just to die to Wanda feels a little disrespectful to me.
Yeah, especially since it was the best Professor X. Like it wasn't the Gravity version.
It was the animated Professor X.
It was the 97 Professor X.
Yeah.
Like, come on, I'm just like, yo.
It was really
like, why did they? Oh my bad. But I was like, why did they make the fucking Illuminati Ultron boss? I don't like this. Like, why did they just put him in to get decimated?
It was supposed to be in a movie. It was supposed to be Tom Cruise.
No, it wasn't.
Like,
that was just
yes,
a
it was.
theory.
I mean, there's a rumor that hasn't been confirmed.
It was never confirmed Tom Cruise was in the movie.
He didn't do it because of COVID.
Yeah, no, that's just a rumor. Like, he was never confirmed to be in it.
I mean, it might be true, but I
feel like they were shooting this at the same time as Top Gun 2, so I mean, if you would even have time, but that's kind of besides the point.
Yeah.
But like, it definitely was strange that like
strange.
They were definitely cannon fodder. Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of that. But yeah, they were definitely the Illuminati was definitely cannon fodder. And I think that like the worst part of the entire movie for me was the whole thing with the third eye at the very, very end of the movie. Like, there's no explanation behind what that is, why he has the third eye. Like, there's so many different interpretations that could come out of that like, I really did not like that part of the ending.
My least favorite part.
Nobody likes this.
Go ahead. Sorry, my least favorite part. Well, I love the Illuminati, but I gotta say, the Illuminati were fucking idiots. You got Reed Richards, you got Professor X, like the most smartest people in the entire multiverse.
Oh, we're gonna talk more in depth about that. Trust me. Don't worry about that. About the stupidity that occurred.
But I'm just saying, this is just one Illuminati out of a million Illuminatis out in the multiverse. Because we just got to know them. We don't know. There's got to be other Illuminati's variants all over the multiverse. But this variant, oh my god, they were dumb. Like, And the most of the thing is, like, I got distracted so much with Reed Richards. Like, John Krasinski, it's cool that they put him in there, but you can tell that he's not even in the same room at the same time because he looks like he's CGI'd in there the whole entire time. I was so distracted by that for some reason. But then, like, all of them dying, like, in the most dumbest ways. Well, Captain Carter...
Wanda also looked really weird.
Yeah. Well, Captain Carter went out like a G, like, being sliced in half. But, like...
I mean, I don't know if that's like a G, but...
She went out like a boss.
She definitely lasts longer than the rest of them.
Lasted longer than all of them.
Oh, I can...
So is this Captain Carter?
I really want to go in more depth into this.
Is this Captain Carter the same one from What If Captain Carter or no?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
But that don't make sense.
It's a different version of her.
No, it is canon though. Like, so What If is canon.
What If is canon?
Yeah, I know, but if that's... Are they all from different universes, or are they all from the same universe?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
like, there's a multiverse, so a lot of them... Yeah, there's all variants.
Different universe.
The problem I didn't like... Alright, let me go with mine. The problems I didn't like was the multiverse itself. There was barely any multiverse things going on. You know, they stuck in one... In Earth 616. That's like one of the main universes in Marvel. And I'm looking at the world, I'm just like, what is this? Like, this is not what I expected 616 to look like. I expected to see multiple versions of characters, the way how they advertise this movie, and you gotta give it to what these people was trying to promote, like the comic book news people. They tell you all this, like, oh, we're gonna get X-Men and all this and all that. I started to believe it was true as soon as we saw Professor X, but you know, Marvel always have this thing where they just trick people and just give us false hope.
That fake Quicksilver.
Like, this movie would have been 10 times better if they really would have focused on the multiverse. But then again, I really enjoyed this movie. That's all I can really say about my dislikes. I wish they really expanded more, to really show more in depth, more characters that we want to see. And Spider-Man was supposed to be in this movie. I don't know what happened to him.
Who said that?
Yeah, I don't know where you're getting this information.
Spider-Man was supposed to appear in that new Spider-Man movie that happened. Tom Holland was supposed to appear in Doctor Strange in this. This was confirmed, but they never did it.
It wouldn't make sense. It wouldn't make sense for him to be there because nobody knows who Spider-Man is anymore.
Well, they know who Spider-Man. They know it was Spider-Man, but they don't know it's Peter Parker.
Oh, true, yeah.
Because they had a conversation about that in the movie. They know.
Actually, just to quickly talk about Dion's point about Marvel and kind of using, like, trying to hype people up for things that aren't really there. One of the most egregious times they did that for me was with Black Widow movie with Taskmaster, because whoever that was in the movie, that was not Taskmaster. And it had nothing to do with them changing his gender. Like, the character just had nothing in line with the character at all. But they just put her in a Taskmaster looking suit to promote the movie and get people hyped for it. But that wasn't Taskmaster. That shit pissed me off.
I agree with Chant. That was not Taskmaster.
It's crazy how Marvel. I still love Marvel, but at the same time, they make it so hard for you to really trust them when they start to false advertise these things in their trailers.
Yeah, piss me off, man.
Moon Knight is one of them. I'll tell you that.
We should probably move on to what we liked about the movie.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, overall, like, I think it was just generally, like, everything was kind of okay. I actually really liked that they confirmed that the Scarlet Witch and Wanda are separate, like, they're separate personalities. So again, similar to, like, Moon Knight.
I don't know if that's
what they were doing.
I don't know if I agree with that.
No, I don't think that's what they're doing.
Because Xavier specifically called her as her other self. And Wanda had no control over the Scarlet
But that was
Witch.
the Wanda from his Earth. From his, not
That was
our
from,
Wanda.
That was a different multiverse Wanda because she was sleepwalking.
That was the one she had.
Oh, I
She
see.
dreamwalked
Yeah,
into.
okay,
Yeah.
So then I misunderstood that scene then. Wow. Well,
Yeah,
never mind. Scratch that. But even still, I think kind of on the same note there, right? The Scarlet Witch, her at the very end of the movie, realizing like that the kids were afraid of her, and like that what she's that for her was the moment of I messed up. Like I'm doing this wrong. Like this is not the right way to go about this. And then obviously collapsing the temple and breaking the book. So I thought that characterization, that was kind of the characterization that we should have had in WandaVision, and like in my opinion made WandaVision kind of worse than it was because she kind of doubled back on everything that she already learned.
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel like Wanda's characterization was the best part of the movie, and that scene that you talked about with her, seeing her kids, and that was probably my favorite scene of the movie.
Yeah.
I thought it was handled really well. Overall they handled her characterization well. But I mean, I guess we're supposed to talk about our favorite part, so I'm not gonna go into other stuff yet. But yeah, that was my favorite part of the movie.
I got two favorite parts for this movie. The first one would be, of course, the Illuminati having Professor X in that, and Reed Richards. No, I'm just saying Professor X. I'm just glad he's finally in here. But
yeah, I actually will say I was pretty hyped for the
I
OG
kind of worked out.
Professor X to come in.
Yeah,
I was like,
like they went out.
Yeah, I was for 2 seconds.
Like they went out badly, but just him showing up, I was so happy. Along with Reed Richards and like whoever that other fucker was, Black Bolt.
That's Black Bolt.
Yeah, Black Bolt.
Yeah.
The other fucker.
The other fucker.
Yeah, Reed Richards is just like, hey, by the way, this is how you kill Black Bolt.
Yeah, it was like,
if there are any fans of the Inhumans watching this, I am so sorry because the MCU has done y'all dirty for like the past however many years. I'm so sorry.
Have the rights to him, right?
I guess now
they don't have the rights to the Inhumans.
I mean, Black Bolt is an Inhuman.
But to be fair, I mean, the Fantastic Four, X-Men, like, I feel like they just made a studio agreement to allow a cameo.
Yeah.
I don't know the business workings behind that, but
that's my first favorite part because like them being in there. My second thing would be like Sam Raimi doing his old school horror directing techniques that he used to do back in the day. Like holy shit!
Oh, that is one thing I wanted to say. I like the horror elements of the movie.
Yeah,
because I can see some Evil Dead shit going on in there, and that's what I liked about that. Like,
Yeah, hold
Sam Raimi doing
wait.
All right, can I talk?
Wait, hold on. One more thing.
Why do you even finish down?
He stole my turn. Like,
no, I didn't.
Well, he did, but
okay. Let me just finish this one part. Like Sam Raimi is known for every one of his horror movies to have like some girl screaming right into the camera, running right into the camera. There's this one scene where the octopus-looking thing in the beginning of the movie goes up to the building, and you can see this one woman
It was
just
like a
looking.
Suicide Squad monster.
Yeah, and you can tell like he was supposed to scream,
it was a
but they
starfish.
yeah, whatever. But he didn't do the screaming thing bit because that's one of his repertoire things, just having a woman just scream her ass off. But that's cool that he didn't do it this time. Is what I'm saying.
I guess.
That's just me though, because I like Sam Raimi films, and he always does that in every movie.
Well, shit, he should have done it in this one.
Okay, well, I'm going to tell you what I like. Like, my favorite moments is the time where he was actually getting the zombie. He was when he was taking over the body, and he was trying to struggle to get to Wanda, and you see all these demons just coming and trying to stop him. Like, I love that shit. Like shit like that, where each thing he's going to, like he's got a extra obstacle to like try to get to. Like the time when he went to his other universe where everything was just deserted and it was just too crazy, and he seen his evil self and seeing what happened, the aftermath of what happened, and it was just a powerful scene because when they started fighting with the music, like the mutant music notes and stuff. I was like, dang, I ain't never seen nothing like this. Like,
Oh yeah, the music notes.
It's on some creative
music
shit.
note battle.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't want to see it again.
And then the sounds was fire. I'm like, yeah, this is what I want to see in Marvel. Like, give us these creative, new, innovative scenes where we don't see in a typical superhero movie. Like, I really think this is better than a lot of other like MCU movies that we got now.
Definitely, I agree. That definitely was a creative scene. I personally didn't like. I thought it kind of lasted a little too long. I was kind of
Yeah.
Once we get to the final thoughts, I'm gonna explain
that. Yeah.
why.
A quick question though. So the zombie Strange, was that actually a callback to another What If episode?
Yeah, that was supposed to be a what if thing. It was supposed to be like Strange, but they didn't do it. They just kind of copped out on that. I just like how they did it because it was dark. It was like, damn, like he got to go through these demons, and he almost didn't make it at first. So that's why I'm like, he's not.
Well, they had to have some use for Christine.
Yeah, they definitely did, but like Doctor Strange is not perfect, so he's gonna go through these trials and all this stuff that's going on. But
yeah, okay, like as Humanoid said, I definitely I like the horror elements, but I don't think he was too on the nose with the horror. It was more like psycho type shit, especially with the Professor X and Wanda scene. Like, you know, with the whole thing goes white.
Oh yeah, like he knew he was.
Yeah, that scene was hard. I'm not even.
He knew he was.
Like, cause it creeps you the fuck out. You're like, yeah, I know something's gonna happen, but I'm not ready for what's gonna happen. Like I really love that scene. I really love that scene. You know, of course, I like the part where they showed Reed Richards. I'm like, oh shit, Fantastic Four in the MCU. You know, my little Mark brain went crazy for about 3 seconds.
Yeah.
So, you know, they actually, you know, so they actually started doing shit with him.
Yeah.
And honestly, I liked how this movie looked. Like, of course, it didn't look as good as the first Doctor Strange to me, because I really liked the first Doctor Strange, you know, like cinematography and type shit. But yeah, this one looked pretty. That's it.
To be honest,
on the screen.
Infinity War kind of ruins the CGI for me. Because now when I see Marvel movies that don't look as good as Infinity War, it bothers me.
I mean, I thought the first Doctor Strange looked absolutely incredible. Like, I still think that's probably the most visually appealing Marvel movie to have come out. Like, this one definitely had its moments too, but it was kind of on a different level.
Yeah.
I forgot to mention one thing. Like, another favorite part of mine is like, Professor X came in. You can hear the X-Men '97 cartoon theme going on.
Oh yeah. That
was good. I would love that.
All those X-Men movies.
Oh, there is actually one more scene that I did like. The scene where Wanda attacked the Carmitage, or whatever it's called. I like that she did just overpower her way through their shield.
Oh, yeah.
Like, she actually had to use a bit of creativity. She basically looked at that one guy and said, I smell bitch in here.
The weakest link in the group.
It was like, yeah, you a hoe, run. Like, what did he do? He ran.
It smelled like bitch in here.
Yeah, find the weakest link, and he ran.
Yeah, but that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Alright, so now's when we get to talk about all of the random stuff that we've kind of hinted at throughout this episode.
Okay, so that whole Illuminati bullshit.
Go ahead, counselor.
First of all, Reed Richards is supposed to be not just one of the smartest people at Marvel, but just one of the smartest people in fiction.
Mm-hmm.
And so first off, he just basically, as I think, was it Terrence who said that? Basically told Wanda how to defeat, or was it Joey who said it?
Yeah,
told Wanda how to defeat Black Bolt.
Yeah.
Like, that was oof number one. Secondly, he then afterwards, this is Reed Richards, one of the smartest people in the universe. His backup plan for dealing with Wanda was to throw his stretchy fist at her. No contingencies, no counterplays, no gadgets, no nothing. I'm just gonna throw a stretchy fist at her like that's gonna do shit.
This is the man that fought Doctor Doom, people. Think about that.
Right. When there was a comic where Tony made everybody in New York as smart as him, and Reed Richards said that he felt dumber.
I need to see that.
Legend.
Like, the fuck? And then Captain Marvel, or Maria.
The equivalent.
Maria
Right. He died to a statue falling
Yeah,
on
that
him?
was...
Yeah, what
that
the
was
fuck?
tough.
I was wondering, like,
That was stupid.
how the fuck did Carol Danvers in Endgame get punched in the face by Thanos and she didn't feel a damn thing, and this woman just gets killed by a statue?
And then, like, look,
Yeah.
I
I
guess
understand.
she was already exhausted at that point because she was trying to beam the Scarlet Witch, but like...
Man.
Like, that
Well,
kills you? Like, that's crazy.
And like the way they did Black Bolt, I just like Marvel. No, not Marvel. Just superhero movies in general. You don't have to make another character look like a jobber in order to make another character look stronger. They did that with Thanos and the Hulk. They did that with Superman and Wonder Woman in the Snyder Cut movie. And they did it here with, but like, they could have had Wanda and Black Bolt actually like fight for a little bit, and then she does her thing to him. That way, Black Bolt still looks kind of like a badass, and then you kill him instead of just making him look like a complete joke. Is all I'm saying.
Honest, if you don't already know who Black Bolt is and what he does, then you're not gonna understand after watching that movie because he literally had only one scene. Kind of demonstrated his capability.
I had to look him up because I thought, like, isn't that the motherfucker from Inhumans? And I had to look it
Dang,
up
it is
after.
though.
Yeah.
Like, I like that scene though. I like all those scenes. It's weird. I know it's stupid. At the same time, like I've been saying, Sam Raimi actually took the risk and killed these characters off. You
But
don't
again,
see this shit.
Yeah, I'm
like,
okay
you
with
don't-
that.
I know, but like
It's just the way it happened was dumb.
Infinity War, they disappeared. In this one,
They also
they
died.
actually get
They
brutally
They
murdered.
died.
They
I'm
died.
saying.
It's really...
Fucking chopped.
They killed, like they killed Black
His
Bolt.
brains got exploded while his mouth was covered. That's some shit.
That's
you
cool and all, but the way we get from point A to point B can't be like just dumb.
Well, and
Yeah.
even still, you have to keep in mind that there's a big difference between the events of like Infinity War and Endgame and what happened in this movie, because at that time there wasn't a multiverse. So they didn't kill off these characters, they killed off a version of these characters. Whereas what happened in those movies, they killed off the character, because there was no multiverse yet. That was before the split happened.
Look, I gotta say the dumbest death out of all of them was Mr. Fantastic, because I'm like,
Spaghetti.
what the hell is he gonna do with stretchy ass powers compared to?
That's what I fucking said.
I'm just saying though, like, what is he gonna do with? That's the only one I'm just like, okay, I can't defend that. But Black Bolt and all them, he didn't know her power. It was just people that they just met each other, like.
Yeah.
But no, presumably they did.
His power until Mr. Fantastic told her what it was.
He said as soon as he was about to say something, she shut his mouth. It wasn't like he automatically just freaking said something, then some power came up. No, he said something and she.
He didn't say anything. He didn't get a chance to.
No, yes he did. He said something and then that's.
No, he didn't.
He said, I'm sorry.
first
He said,
off-
I'm sorry.
Counterpoint.
Yeah, that was with Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't.
So,
Yes, it was.
Dion,
That was the only thing he said.
I've seen the movie. He said, no, look, this is what he said. he said something. How you think he died? He said something.
Because she took away his mouth, and then he started screaming and blew his head off.
All right, counterpoint to all of what's going on
Then
here.
he got his head blown off. That's what
So,
happened.
so the discussion here, right, we're talking about them knowing her power versus her knowing his power. One thing you have to remember is that they specifically
have a
said
Wanda.
the Scarlet Witch is not a concern to them. They understand her power. So they already knew what they were getting into and being, you know, supposedly being these incredibly smart beings, decided that Doctor Strange was the only threat, and that they actually didn't have to deal with the Scarlet Witch until they had to, and they already knew her powers,
knew she could dreamwalk.
Yeah, and they didn't know how to deal with her. So they already knew that the events were coming, effectively, and just decided, nah, we're good. On the flip side, Wanda doesn't know those characters because she's not in those universes yet.
Yeah.
And that equivalent doesn't exist on her.
So my miscellaneous thought is, hey, Chance, what was that comic book storyline called when like Hulk came back?
I'll have to look it up.
Hold on. I didn't even say what it
go
was.
ahead.
I didn't even say
Sorry.
what it was. What's that story? What's that storyline comic book called? Like where he comes back from World War Hulk and he.
Oh, World War Hulk. I mean, it's World War Hulk.
No, I'm saying where he comes back from that and he starts fighting the Illuminati and beats the ever-loving shit out of them.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I don't remember the name for it, but basically just put if you look up World War Hulk, you'll find it. The Illuminati shot the Hulk into space.
No, the Avengers did, and then he came back and they imprisoned him in the middle.
Yeah, then he came back because the ship exploded and killed his new wife.
And then
he was pissed off.
They imprisoned him in the middle of the center of the universe. So I'm kind of thinking like the whole Dark Strange thing, they kind of replaced with Hulk there, because that would remind me of what it was. They were doing kind of a.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Because they kind of had the World War Hulk stuff in Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah, that too.
Sort of.
That too. But when he comes back, though, is what I'm saying. Like, 'cause they kind of took that a little bit and put Doctor Strange in there instead. I was just thinking about that.
Kind of. I mean, sort of. But not quite, really.
That feeling of vengeance.
Yeah, that was all I think.
So, now, before we get there, I want to say that one of the biggest things, it's regarding the multiverse and the way that it was treated. I think it's super important. Because if you look at like how Loki was treated and even the Spider-Man, right? Like there are different versions of the Spider-Men. They're all very different, right? They all look different. They all act different. They all have different villains. You know, they all have different stories, different love interests.
Even their personalities are different.
Right, exactly. Then you go and you look at Loki, and there's all the variants of the Lokis, right?
Right.
Then you look at this movie and everything is samey.
Yeah.
You know, the way that they're treating the multiverse in this movie is very, very, very different than how they've treated it in the past. And to me, that's really jarring because I understand that, like, a lot of times, and even the DCU does this too, where, you know, when there's these multiverses and different Earths and whatever you want to call it happening, you know, there are still fixed points. So there are certain things that have to happen, right? So for example, Doctor Strange losing the mobility in his hand. And they kind of alluded to that with Christine, right? She was saying that, you know, his injuries are similar but not the same.
Right.
Yeah.
So I would assume that in the MCU that's a fixed point, is him losing the ability to use his hands. But at the same time, is there an MCU where a Doctor Strange doesn't exist? Is there an MCU where a Doctor Strange looks totally different, right? Like,
well, we had
you're right. The multiverse is supposed to be infinite.
Yeah, and
so
all
infinite
of the
possibilities
of everything that we got in this particular movie was like pretty much the same. Like my biggest thing was in the two universes that were converging, that collided. When he met that Doctor Strange, the only difference between them was that one of them was like quote unquote evil, but they all had the exact same story of like the sister died and this and that. Like, how would you know? Like, you're aware that there's different universes, so that means that there's different events. So how would you know that that is going to be the same as Doctor Strange? Like, how would you know that that's how you're able to connect to him, is to talk about your sister and what happened to your sister? That to me was just such a random call out and made absolutely no sense to the movie.
Yeah, all the things, like, where your sister, like, how do you know this Doctor Strange even had a sister?
Yeah.
Plus, I felt like the character development for all of the characters except for Wanda was just kind of meh.
I think this pandemic, I don't know if it's like I don't want to really.
This is post-pandemic.
Nah.
Yeah, nah, I don't. They can't really.
Nah, whatever this is, they probably was working on this for some time. So a lot.
Yeah,
of
but
these movies,
so was the Batman.
Let me finish. A lot of these movies, when they shooting, when that pandemic happened, it kind of messed up the quality of these movies. It's like they're not intentionally like the same how they was intentionally supposed to be.
The Batman got postponed multiple times because of the pandemic, and it was still a quality movie.
You can look before this pandemic, and you can see how those movies look better than the movies we're seeing. But the Batman looked perfect. The Batman was
exactly. So that's not an excuse.
But I never mentioned the Batman. I'm just saying.
I mean, if you want to keep it exclusively in the MCU, because I think there's a bit of a difference in the direction and the amount of CGI that's used in those movies in particular. Like, obviously, Doctor Strange needs a lot more CGI, right?
Yeah.
I don't think there's
my
any arguing
problems
that.
with the movie had nothing to do with the CGI.
If you're talking about like how they looked, how they were written, all of that stuff, like the actual Dion, shut up. If you're talking about the actual quality, the actual quality of the movie as compared to pre-pandemic, you have to remember that pre-pandemic we didn't have a multiverse. So again, it's like comparing apples to oranges. It's very hard to do. Like you can point to it and say, well, maybe they had less people working in this and that, but like at the end of the day, they're two very different scopes of movie.
Well, I'm not surprised because like their writer and director for Endgame couldn't even agree on how time travel works.
Yeah, and it's much harder to write things like time travel in the multiverse than it is to write a very linear story about the Avengers meeting up.
So, final thoughts?
It could have been better.
I agree with that. Yeah, I think it very much could have been better. I think that there were some things like, just some issues with the movie. Like, again, I feel like the way they handled the multiverse. Also, it seemed like they kind of went out of their way to get a use out of Christina, Christine. Like there was, I don't know.
There was
that I was very over like half of the scenes that she was in before they even ended. So,
it's like, why? I'm like, why is she here? Like, what does she really bring to the story? Like, in this point in the movie, that's what I didn't even get about her inclusion.
Yeah,
they brought her in to make you like get tricked in the trailer because you see a redhead alongside Doctor Strange and you think it's Scarlet Witch, but no, it's Christina. You never thought that Scarlet Witch would just be the main villain of this thing until you watch the movie.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought it was decent. I thought that they tried to cram everything into this movie. Like there was just a lot all at once. So to me, if I were to put a rating on it, I'd give it probably like a 7 out of 10. Like it's a decent movie. I'll probably, it's something that I could watch again, but it definitely had its issues and shortcomings.
The fact that none of us mentioned America Chavez is also a problem.
I was about to mention her.
I forgot she was in the movie.
I forgot she was in there.
That's a major problem because she was the biggest plot point of the movie.
So
nobody even cared to mention her.
So you're telling me
she didn't really do anything in the movie. She just kind of existed.
Yeah. So is she like the first Latino superhero or what?
Well, she's supposed to be Afro-Latino in the comics and that.
Oh,
but she's
but she looks very
Latino,
white Dominican here. White Puerto Rican.
So my final
I don't know.
I would give it a 7, and I want to try those cheese balls that Bruce Campbell had on there.
I love that final scene. That second cutscene I thought was hilarious.
I didn't see the second
over.
cutscene. After the first one, I was ready to go.
That first
Bruce Campbell cameo.
Basically, my final thoughts: Wanda carried the movie both as far as action scenes and just overall character and story. Doctor Strange's character development just wasn't all that interesting to me. I don't like how they handled the Illuminati at all. The movie looked good at times, but also looked weird. But there were just really just weird scenes. Like that one scene where America Chavez was like punching Wanda, and then she like shook her head or something. Like that was just really goofy. For, like,
Oh
no
yeah,
reason.
you saw that too.
Yeah.
I thought I was seeing shit. I was like, I
was like,
Some of the
wait,
scenes
let's not turn her into a
very comical.
mustache twirling like supervillain now.
I thought she was like, oh no, you didn't. Like, what do you think?
I
you're
gave
doing,
it like a 6 out of 10. That's as high as I can go. Like it was fine, but I wouldn't go out of my way to watch it again.
Yeah.
I think I enjoyed it more than y'all. Like, I had more
Clearly.
Like, I don't know, like, it's more of a darker thing where I wanted in Marvel. They finally did it. Like, they finally...
I wouldn't call that dark.
It was
Yeah.
Somebody got chopped in half. You telling me it wasn't dark?
I'm telling you that there was a lot
all that
shit in that house where she was stalking that WandaVision. She was stalking her, trying to get the kids.
She looked like an animal,
She knew
too.
what the hell she was doing.
Yeah, but at the same time, Dion, they're cramming jokes down our throat every 10 seconds.
Yeah,
So, like, you pair
it's-
that. You pair that.
You ever heard of a dark comedy? You ever heard of that?
That's not dark comedy.
This was not. That is not a dark comedy. That is not what a dark comedy is.
That's not a dark comedy.
Breaking Bad
My
is
man's
dark
Mr.
comedy.
Fantastic
Sopranos is
hit
dark comedy. This is not a dark comedy.
Mr. Fantastic hit popped right after he got shredded. How is that not comedy? This man
That's comedy? Wait, that's
That's
comedy?
not comedy.
That's disturbing. How is that comedy?
His head popped like
Dion, please
there
just
was
give your
confetti out
score.
there. Confetti came out this man's brain.
That was blood.
All right. It was confetti. It wasn't blood.
It was not confetti.
Yes, it was.
That was his brain.
It was confetti. Where do you see blood at?
That was his brain matter.
Okay.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
But
What's your fucking score, Dion?
I give it a 9 out of 10.
Oh my god!
So clearly, Dion saw God in this movie.
Yeah.
Fire. I don't see
What movie did you watch?
For real, did we watch the same 2 hour and 24-minute movie? I'm like,
Why did this movie felt longer than the Batman?
No, it didn't.
Yeah.
Batman felt longer. This one was deep. Okay, halfway.
Fun
Yeah,
as
yeah.
hell. Like, I like the Batman more, but this movie was more fun than like
The pacing in this movie was a lot quicker, for sure.
yeah.
Comparatively.
I had more fun with
Humanoid.
this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead, humanoid.
What?
What are your thoughts?
What's your rating?
Didn't I already give my thoughts?
Okay, well, your rating.
Did you? What's your score?
I said 7.
Did you?
I said 7.
Oh.
Yeah,
I
you did.
don't even remember you singing this shit.
Only because I lost like brain cells listening to Dion. I just forgot.
Yeah.
So, Terrence, you want to give us
Oh, for sure.
your final thought?
My final thoughts. This movie could have definitely been a lot better if it wasn't like Doctor Strange telling a joke every time something happened. Like, and like, I don't know. It's just like I don't like how this is the new norm for Marvel movies. Like, okay, I get it. Superheroes crack jokes sometimes,
But they've been doing
it's
that
just
since
too.
2010.
It's too much.
They've been
It's
doing
too
that
much
since
now. Like it's really too much. Like every single time they're just trying to get like an audience reaction out of you.
Not
It's
one
like,
person laughed in my theater. It was just silent.
yeah, mine neither. It's like a jump scare in a horror movie, basically. Like it's just there to get a reaction out of you. Like I do not like the new Marvel movie formula, if that makes sense. It's all jokes.
Yeah.
So what would you rate it?
Whatever. I'd give it a 7 too, honestly. Like, cause it was like visual wise, it was good. Like thematic wise, it was good. But I didn't like. I see why you gave it. And like the thing you said about how all the Doctor Stranges in the multiverse were kind of samey, I was like, yeah, I didn't really realize that because I'm like in Spider-Verse, like all the Spider-Men were completely different people, you know. And in What If, you know, completely different people, completely different stories. But here it's just like, you know, they all have the same background, just one minor thing
Well, that was just one universe, though.
Not even like.
I mean,
really.
in theory, in an infinite multiverse, like that kind of makes sense. But at the same time,
Yeah.
what's the odds that you're
Yeah,
gonna
like-
land in every universe and only have just the slightest of differences?
Well,
Yeah,
the
it's
thing
a
is-
slight difference.
Well,
Like,
the thing
come on.
is, like the Doctor Strange could have lied and said, "Yeah, I remember that," just to rope him in.
All right.
He is-
Well,
he is-
Yes, but that's a stretch.
Yeah, I don't know.
So,
it takes a lot of fucking thinking.
I think
And,
that's about gonna.
Oh,
I think
yeah,
that's about gonna wrap us up here. So
I'm not
thanks.
finished. I'm not
everybody
finished.
for watching. Oh, okay. Go ahead, Terrence. Go.
I'm finished. Another thing wait. Okay, this is one thing I didn't like. I didn't like how America Chavez was depicted. Honestly, could have made her darker. Could have made her darker.
Well, she's like a
let's be honest.
powerhouse in the comics.
Yeah. I'm like, but here she was just Doctor Strange's fucking multiverse wacky. What is this, bro? Like,
He's
what
an
is it?
apprentice right now.
Yeah, I
the vibe
guess.
I got.
I'm just like, she was so unimportant to the movie that I forgot she was even in it until
Yeah.
Chance, like, referenced it. Like, the Chance said it. I was like, oh yeah, I forgot she was one of the major selling points of the multiverse.
Speaking of America Chavez, so her powers work only when she's afraid, right? So in the comics,
Yeah.
is that how it works in the comics too, or what?
No.
Because she's
Well,
scared.
she's not
She
magic.
She hasn't learned how to use them yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she said
But-
that it only works when she's scared, and like she's scared in every other scene, and nothing happens. But I'm just saying, okay.
Well, no, it's not. It's not quite that.
Yeah.
It's like when the Hulk
Like-
turns into the Hulk because he's stressed.
Yeah, or mad.
It's more like that.
Okay.
You know, her powers
I-
are more like a defensive mechanism, I guess, to protect herself when she's really stressed, I guess. But
And all right, and this is like my last thought. Some of these visual effects look crazy, like not Marvel standards. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, I'm not saying it's bad, but like Marvel CGI standards, man.
Is it getting
Like,
worse,
some
or
of
is
this
it
shit
getting
look,
better?
some of this shit look crazy.
Quality of these movies are changing. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
it's
not for the
worse.
better either. Yeah, and not for the better. What I'm saying, like that first scene with the octopus, I'm like, come on, they could have made this look better. Like,
come on, Disney, cut the check.
Cut the check. We're done. Little bitty book, sign check, rip it out.
On that note,
Yeah.
on that note, we really got to wrap. So
yeah,
thanks,
my bad.
thanks everybody for watching. As you guys can see, we're trying to do something a little bit different here, having some gameplay over this. Go ahead and drop a comment and let us know what games you guys want to see. And I'm gonna pass.
Let us know what you thought of the movie.
all right, peace, like, share, and subscribe, and bye.